Hello, this is Professor Thornburg. I want to explain to you all today about the subject pronoun chart. This is a review for you all from 101, but this is such a foundational knowledge that you need to have this in your mind for you to do well in the Spanish 102. Subject pronoun chart is divided into two groups traditionally, or two columns, the singular over here, and then of course the plural. It's done by position on the singular side. This is a certain order which is usually followed in the textbooks as well. I've modified our chart slightly, and I'll try to explain why. But rapidly, just want you to understand what your subject pronouns are. This is called the first position, but really it's called the first person. So you've heard it said the first person singular. We're talking about grammar here. And so the first person singular subject pronoun in Spanish is, of course, what? Yo. That's right. And of course in English that's just the equivalent of the word I. And then you've got the number two, so this would be the second person, and then we're still singular here. So that would be after me, which is the first person, there's you, right? And in Spanish they have two words for you. And in the second position we're going to use the word tú there for you. That's called you informal. Excuse me. Alright, and now in the third position singular, or third person singular, we have three different possibilities in Spanish. Let's go ahead while we were on you in the second position. Let's do you in the third position. That's a different word. What is it? It's the formal word for you, usted. Why don't you say it right? Usted. Muy bien. And let's see. It's you formal. Put that L in there. Let's see. What are the other possible third person singular pronouns? You guys remember this? It's got E with an accent mark. Two letters in Spanish. It has an E in it. Two letters in English with an E in it. He. And of course the other one, the other gender for that same pronoun would be she. In Spanish, pronounce that ella. Say it for me. Ella. Muy bien. Now, I decided finally to just go ahead and add what I always say. So I've added a special box for it just over here in English. It. It is also, as you can tell, like these words, it's singular. And it would be in the third position because, like, he is smart. And then if you're talking about like a dog, you would say it is smart. So it's still third position. I don't give a Spanish equivalent because it's kind of weird. They don't really, well, I have to, you'll see. But if you ever had to say something that would be something like anything that's not a person and it's singular, that would be the equivalent of it. And I need you just simply to know that that's in the third position right now. Let's go to the plurals. You remember the long word for we in Spanish? Nosotros. And if it's all women, you would say, instead of nosotros, you would say, let's see if I can fit it in here. Oh, it's not doing it. Sorry, y'all. Let me pause this. Alright, let's try that again. Nosotros, that's the we, all guys. And then, oh, I didn't do it right. Right, and so the two kinds of nosotros, two words for we, nosotros, nosotras. Now the fifth position plural has several options. Notice that these are lined up even on a row basis, that right across from the singular word for you, which is usted, we have the plural word for you. So just take this word and make it plural. Now in English you would add simply an S because it ends with a consonant. But in Spanish, words that end with consonants that you try to pluralize, you have to add ES. So, usted, ustedes. So if usted is singular and ustedes is plural, then this means you. And if you walk into a crowd, to a room with a lot of people, and you want to say good morning, how are you? Sometimes you just say to a bunch of people, how are you? But often we may even use other words like how are you all doing? How are you guys? So you can translate ustedes, you, but you have to understand that it's plural you. It's not singular you. Now, if you kind of figure this out, you can make this plural in a weird way. We're not going to add es. We're going to start off with the el, no accent mark this time on the e, and add another l and an os, and it's going to be pronounced ellos. And that, of course, means they. And isn't they a plural word? Of course it is. And let's go with the feminine they. That would be all females in this group, just like that. So that's pretty much the subject pronoun chart. I want you guys to you should just know this like in your head. It's like yo, tú, usted, él, ella. It's 1, 2, 3. Nosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas. 4, 5. These are your singulars. 1, 2, 3. These are your plural. 4 and 5. I call this the position: the first position, second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position. And you're going to use this chart to help yourself identify subjects by this position. So, for example, if the subject was the class, you ask yourself, is the word the class, which in Spanish is, by the way, la clase, you needed to understand which position la clase would be on the subject pronoun chart. So I encourage you to work through this thought process. First of all, ask yourself, is it singular or is it plural? Again, la clase, does it sound singular or does it sound plural? Does it end with an S is usually a good rule. If it ends with an S, it's plural. If it doesn't, it's probably, that's right, singular. So now you can eliminate all of this over here, and you can focus on it being either first, second, or third position. So ask yourself, is la clase the same idea as I? No, because I am not the class. Now, is la clase you? No, not unless there's only you in my class. So la clase, by what's called process of elimination, la clase is going to be this third position. And that's all you need to know. It happens to be corresponding to the word it. La clase es buena, the class is good. You could say it is good, right? So that's third position by virtue of it being like the word it. But if you can just get it to say, if you can get yourself to where you understand its third position, that's what's going to help you. Because what happens after this is we match up our subjects with our verbs, and once you know your verb charts and you match them with your subjects, you're speaking Spanish. Muy bien. Bueno, adiós.